Hey guys, what's going on? Back up here for another video here on youtube.com/Dano Guys at 412. Just wanted to come up here and give my thoughts on the huge announcement of WWE naming Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff as executive directors of both Raw and SmackDown Live. I got the article here from WWE.com. WWE has named Paul Heyman as Executive Director of Monday Night Raw and Eric Bischoff as Executive Director of SmackDown Live. They're both newly created positions reporting directly to WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon. In their executive roles, Heyman and Bischoff will oversee the creative development of WWE's flagship programming and ensure integration across all platforms and lines of business. The creation of these roles further establishes WWE's ability to continuously reinvent its global brand while providing two distinct creative processes for its flagship shows. Of course, Paul Heyman came from ECW and eventually joined WWE in 2001, left in 2006, came back in 2012, and has been here ever since as Brock Lesnar's advocate. And I've heard backstage he's been helping somewhat on the creative process with Ronda Rousey's promos, helping other talent as well backstage. We saw that in the great 2014 documentary that they did on him, which I recommend to all. If you have not seen that Paul Heyman documentary, it is one of my favorites on the network to watch. And Eric Bischoff, of course, his resume is goes without saying. Former president of WCW, he oversaw the creation and development of the NWO, the development of WCW Nitro and Thunder. Of course, we all know what happened to WCW, but he was the one to really go toe-to-toe with Vince McMahon in the Monday Night Wars. So to see him back in charge of SmackDown Live, I think, like I said, part of the reason for that, possibly just my speculation here, is due to Eric's, history in the television industry and his relationships and his ability to build on those relationships with network and TV executives and with the upcoming Fox deal. I feel like Vince felt he would be the ideal candidate for that role, this newly created role. I hope this finally leads to some much-needed changes because, boy, oh boy, has the main roster product been bad for a long time or what. However, nothing is going to truly change. I mean, the buck still stops with Vince McMahon. So they're going to be reporting to him. How much control and influence? I mean, they can have all the ideas in the world. But if Vince says no, nothing's going to change. We're still going to get the same crap that we've been getting with all this wild card rule BS, which I hope comes to an end. And I was listening to a video somebody took from Eric Bischoff at some type of event. It was a while ago. And he talked about, wanting to make Raw and SmackDown feel like two distinctly different shows and put a little grit in there. They're too perfect. They're too polished, which I agree, When they dimmed the lights for the third hour of Raw and kind of took it back to a more, grounded base, less poppy, less, lighting, just little details like that. And then, of course, they stopped doing that. Something that I actually liked that they were doing. Go figure. But what Bischoff said here, like I said, the way that the show looks, the way that it's lit, little details like that, the way that it's shot, certain production, like both shows look exactly the same. That's one problem. There's no distinction between Raw and SmackDown other than Raw is red and SmackDown is blue. That's it. They're both identically the same. So my hope is with this move, here we go, getting my hopes up with WWE. I know it's a repeating cycle. Knowing them, they'll find a way to screw this up. But they made a big article about it. They made a big announcement. You would hope, Vince, just go do the XFL stuff. You don't have to be hands-on and oversee every little single aspect of every company. I like the fact that the buck stops with one guy, but then again, that runs into the problem when this one guy is in his 70s and he's old and stubborn and out of touch, and it shows every day on the product here. Now you're bringing in, somebody with a background like Paul Heyman, goes without saying. Eric Bischoff, who's had his ups and downs. He's had success, but he's also had his failures. This will be really interesting to watch how soon these changes are implemented. Will we notice anything Monday and Tuesday? I pray to God we do, because I need something to keep watching, because like I said, I have not had the passion, the energy to continue to want to watch on a weekly basis, and it just feels like my interest, mainly with WWE. When it comes to WWE, AEW, of course, my interest continues to increase every single week. The There's other companies like New Japan out there, so there's enough wrestling where I can get my fill. NXT, the one brand of WWE that I can actually tolerate. But when it comes to Raw and SmackDown, something definitely needs to change. Will this be the change that'll get me to tune back in on a weekly basis? We'll stay tuned for that. If it does happen, I'll be back up here with reviews. If not, continuing to see less and less WWE content and more other content, such as content for AEW. And I will be doing a Fyter Fest review this Saturday, so be sure to tune in for that whenever I go live for that video. But yeah, I just really quickly wanted to come up here, like I said, breaking news. Hopefully this leads to something positive for the main roster product, because there's so much talent there, and I would hate to continue to see it be wasted away. So yeah, guys, that is my brief thoughts on Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff being named Executive Directors of Raw and SmackDown Live. Be sure to comment down below on your thoughts on this breaking news. And be sure to check out more video content coming soon to this channel here at youtube.com/DanielGeyser412 for all my latest thoughts. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at DanielGeyser412, Facebook.com/DanielGeyser1994. Links can be found down below in the description box. So until then, guys, thanks for watching and have a great day.